This is the story about how I finessed my high school. The goal of most high school students, according to my own calculations, is to graduate. Why? Because no one wants to do that bullshit over again.
Actually, I would love to do it again.
Man, shut the fuck up, Carl. No one asked you. Or maybe you're just more of a normal person that's just completing another stage in your life. Well, when I was a senior in high school, I finessed this system so hard, it's embarrassing. That's what she said. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, let's take the story back to the end of my junior year. I was sitting down having a conversation about my future with my student counselor. She was informing me that because of my behavior issues, constant detention, suspensions, and everything else I did while I was in high school, that the faculty decided to put me into an alternative program. The focus of this program was to help the more troubled kids graduate. But there's a catch. The kids in the alternative program weren't allowed to be mixed in with the regular population of the school. So in other words, we were segregated. I was one of the luckier kids in the program because I'm a genuinely smart kid. Now remember this because it's important for the story later. And I was especially smart when I applied myself. That wasn't the case for most of the kids in there, however. I'll be honest, a box of rocks could have calculated more math equations than some of the kids in this program, and that's not even a joke. I was also very lucky because before I had been put into the program, I had never taken a lunch in my previous years of high school to maximize on my credits, so that when my senior year came around, I'd be able to take less classes. And I'm so glad that I did that because all I had to do my senior year was English, history, and gym solely to graduate, meaning I was able to come in at school at 1:30 p.m. and leave at 3 o'clock p.m. 1.5 hours of school, I'll take it. So during my senior year, even though I had a lot less to worry about when it came to school compared to a lot of my peers, I still looked for any type of way to cut corners, and I was damn good at it too. I noticed as the year was coming to a close that my grades were pretty solid. Nothing crazy like straight A's, but I was at least getting B's. Because it was the end of the year, a lot of the content in my classes was exam prep. I remember my English teacher breaking down exactly how the exam grade will affect our overall average. So, just like the smart kid I was, I decided to calculate if I would still pass by not taking the exam. And to my surprise, when I did the math, with 0 exam, I'd still pass the class with a 71%, which was more than enough for me. So how exactly did I finesse my high school, you may ask? So exam week rolls around and I had my plan meticulously pieced together of how I was going to get out of this English exam. My plan was to just not show up. And that's exactly what I did. In fact, the whole entire last week of school, I skipped. I don't even think you could have paid me to be there. It turns out during the ceremony for the class superlatives, I had actually won an award. I feel bad to this day because my stepmom showed up to the ceremony with zero knowledge of 2 things. 1, I had skipped school, and 2, I would be winning an award. So I'm sure you guys can see where this is going. My stepmom was so embarrassed because she didn't even know that I wasn't there, and it was probably so awkward for her because she's there to celebrate me, and I didn't even show up. This is ultimately how I got caught for skipping the entire last week of school. It was a bittersweet feeling for my parents because not only was their son skipping school and making a fool of himself, but he also got awarded Student of the Year for English and didn't even show up to the exam, which they also ended up finding out about. And that's how I finessed my high school. Student of the Year, bitch.